Hi guys, Wycliffe Barrett here, Explain Dedicated. Today what we're going to do, we're going to talk about computers. In fact, we're going to talk about my computer. We'll see you right after the intro.
November 180 Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude? 2,000 feet on 1014 Bravo Bravo.
Several times a week I get asked the question, what is your PC specifications? So today I thought I'd do a very quick video just talking about my PC, what it is, where I got it from, and the specifications. But first of all, I need to say this is a not for paid for endorsement or advertisement, okay? So Wired to Fire are not paying me to say this. And also what I need to say is that I actually bought my PC. So like all of you guys, I bought my PC from a manufacturer. I spent a lot of time doing some research and finding out exactly who I would like to buy my PC from. I first of all went to Chill Blast. I then looked at Alpine Systems, both very good companies, but I eventually came across Wired to Fire, and I spent some time doing some reading, looking at the products, and then actually ringing them up and speaking to Toby down at Wired to Fire about my requirements. And straight away I was really excited about talking to these guys, because they were really enthusiastic, and they weren't just PC builders, they were PC builders specifically for flight simulation. So they really knew what they were talking about. And at the time that I bought my PC, of course, I was an X-Plane user, and all of my questions were related to X-Plane, and they answered them all. It was really, really good. So as I say, it's a not for paid for endorsement or advertisement. I'm not being paid to say this. I'm not sponsored by Wired to Fire. I bought my machine from them, and I recommend Wired to Fire to lots of people. And I would say that Explain Dedicated is dedicated to Wired to Fire. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the specification. You can see the PC here running in the background. I'm not flying. That's just a screen grab there. But first of all, I think the first thing that I need to tell you about it is that it is a Republic for Gamers motherboard, and it's the Maximus 7 Ranger motherboard. Now this is actually a couple of years old now, and I think the range is now the Maximus 10. I'm not quite sure about that, but the one that I've got, you see the logo there, Republic of Gamers Maximus 7 Ranger motherboard, and I haven't had no problems with this motherboard at all. You can see all the specifications of the board around the side here. For example, it's got an Extreme Digi Plus 3 10K black metallic caps, NextFET MOSFETs, new Ally chokes. It's an Intel LGA L50 socket, DDR3 3200 overclock 4x DIMM dual channel for your RAM. You've got a start button on the for memory test, OK, reset button. You've got 6x USB 3, which is quite amazing, 7x USB 2. You've got 6x SATA to 6 gigabits. There's a keybot button. There's one PCI 2.0 times 4 slot. Coming around here, we've got clear CMOS. You've got 3 PCI 3, Sonic Sensam, Elmer Premium audio capacitors, Supreme FX shielding technology, 3x PCI 2x1, GameFirst 3 Intel Gigabit Ethernet, USB BIOS flashback keyboard. So the motherboard is superb. Okay, so that's the motherboard. On top of that, I've got an i7 4790K chip running at 4 gigahertz. Now that might be considered a bit old now, because of course you've got the i7 770s, and you've got Coffee Lake as well, or whatever it's called, Coffee, that's just come out. So the chip I've got could be considered quite old, and if I was going to do a upgrade, I would be upgrading certainly the motherboard, the processor, and I would have to upgrade my RAM at the same time. Going to RAM, I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM in this PC. Oh, excuse me, itchy nose. Running all of that, of course, is Windows 10 Professional, and I've recently just done a fresh install of Windows 10 Professional, so getting rid of all of the junk that had accumulated over, say, 2 years since Windows 10 was released. So now I've got a complete new reinstall of Windows 10 Pro, 64-bit obviously. I'm running 3 2-terabyte hard drives, so I've got 3 2-terabyte hard drives. One of those holds X-Plane. Another drive is just kind of stuff. So I've got flight planning tools on there. I've got the I've got eFast running on there, and Steam and stuff like that. And then the third 2-terabyte hard drive has got a copy of X-Plane 11, which is the beta one, and I do all the testing on that. So the dedicated X-Plane drive is just for flying, and the third 2-terabyte drive with X-Plane on is for testing. I then also have Windows 10 on a 220 gigabyte SSD, and that's all that's on there. It's just the operating system, so I don't download anything to that. If I download it, it goes to the drive with all the stuff on it. I've got a 500 gigabyte external drive, which also has a copy of X-Plane on, a backup copy, and that backup copy is just X-Plane 11 with my UK photo scenery. So if ever I have a problem, all I have to do is just, I can delete my X-Plane drive and just copy over my my copy from my 500 gigabyte external drive, which is just Windows 11 with the UK photo scenery, which helps an awful lot in terms of, putting stuff back on. And then I also have a optical drive, DVD/Blu-ray drive. People often say, well, you don't need that because you can download everything. Yes, you can, but occasionally I like to watch DVDs, flight DVDs, etc. And, you need an optical drive for that. So that is my PC. But I forgot one final thing, sorry. And I'm running the NVIDIA GTX 1080. Now, I bought the Founders Edition, so that was not long after the 1080 came out. And people kept saying to me, oh, why have you got the Founders Edition? Well, I have to say, I see no difference between my 1080 and somebody else's 1080, whether it be from Strix or EVGA or whatever. But mine's an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080, and I have no issues with it. So that is my PC setup. As I say, it's from Wired to Fire. Wired to Fire are an excellent company down in, I keep saying the south of England, but they're not. They're a little bit north, near Northampton, Wolverhampton area. So, excellent company. I'll put the link to them in the bottom. In fact, you'll probably see the link throughout the video already as I've spoken about them. They're very good. I was talking to somebody I've known for about 10 years. He's recently just bought a PC because he's financially settled, so to speak. He's no longer a student and so could afford to buy one. And he bought one from Wired to Fire on my recommendation. And another friend of mine, who I've known equally as long, he bought one from Wired to Fire just recently, and he's only had it just over a week and is in total love with it. He's just absolutely over the moon with the quality of the PC in terms of build. So if you're looking for a PC, I'll always recommend Wired to Fire. And once again, I will quickly say this is not a paid for advertisement or endorsement, and Wired to Fire have not sponsored this video. Okay, you all have a good day, and the next video after this one will be the Airbus A320 full flight from beginning to end. We'll see you soon. Cheerio.